Now, the AGA MASS SSARATU is a tool from the Necronomicon. It's a bowl or a cauldron. It's used for burning sacrifices, so earthenware or metal is suggested. Neither one is specified in the Necronomicon itself. What you're going to be burning in there is sacrifices of Olieribos, which is basically nettles, bread, and pine or cedar resin. In some versions people do one or all or some, as long as the actual sacrifice is being made of these energetic components. The bowl itself has the three, and this is where it gets a little confusing, the terminology with the Necronomicon. It has three elder signs, and yet once you get into the actual symbolism of those three signs, you find that only the second of the three is actually the elder sign. The sigil, and this should be understood, the sigil on the cover of the Necronomicon is a composite of three symbols, three elder signs. That symbol does not actually occur or is not actually found within the text of the Necronomicon. That was something that the Simon group had their artists come up with as kind of a nice unifying symbol. And in terms of the Watcher ceremony, which is where the AGA MASS SSARATU is used, it's a monthly operation, usually performed in preliminary stages of necronomical workings. And it's warned that if the offerings made are too small, then the Watcher will become angered and move to attack the wizard. And then if the offerings are too great, the strength of the Watcher will become uncontrollable and will overpower the wizard. The ceremonial offering is to be made once a month, usually at the full moon, or even if the spirit is not called for any tasks. On page 69 of the Necronomicon, it doesn't matter which edition you have, page 69, it's actually the Conjuration of the Watchers is the section that we find this in. It says, this is the book of the Conjuration of the Watcher. It says, the formulas that I received from the Scribe of ENKI, our master, Lord of Magick. Great care must be taken that this untamed spirit does not rise up against the priest. Now, concerning the bowl of the sacrifice, it says the three appropriate sigils inscribed thereupon, the three sigils that was seen on the rock of my initiation. And that's a reference earlier to a testimony of the mad Arab. They must be engraved upon the bowl with a fine stylus, or painted thereupon with dark ink. It mentions the sacrifice, it mentions the symbols to be used. And then it explains the Watcher comes from a different race than that of men, and also different from that of the gods. And it is said that he was with Kingu and his hordes at the time of the war between the worlds, but was dissatisfied and did cleave unto the armies of Lord Mardukite. Wherefore it is wise to conjure it in the names of the three great Watchers who existed before the confrontation, whose names bore the Watcher and his race ultimately derived. The three are Anu, Enlil, and Enki. Of course, Marduk gets slided out of these, but they are the three. Marduk seems to come in later. In some versions, he is actually the offspring of Enki. For this reason, they are sometimes called the three Watchers, the Mass SSARATU, and the Watcher MASS SSARATU, or AGA MASS SSARATU. And then the bowl, or the cauldron of it, is the AGA MASS SSARATU, and it is conjured each time in each ritual with the conjuration of the fire god, which is found in the Necronomicon. So, the AGA MASS SSARATU had some questions about what it is, how to make it, what you should do. Very simple. So we'll flash the 3 symbols up, and we'll talk about the elder signs perhaps a little later.